everyone, welcome back to my channel and to today's video, which is travel hacks everybody should know. Over the last couple of years I've travelled quite a lot and I've gathered up a few tips and tricks along the way that make the whole process a little bit smoother and easier. So I'm going to share these with you today. I've also done a full video on everything that you should take with you in your hand luggage, so all of my long haul flight essentials. And if you like hack videos, I've also done a lifestyle hacks that every girl should know on my channel. I'll link both of these videos down below in the description box, or you can click on the little eye up here in the corner at any point during the video and it will take you to those videos. If you're new to my channel, please do subscribe. I post videos every single Monday. And now let's get on with my 10 travel hacks everyone should know. Hack number 1. I'm saying this one first because it's probably my favourite hack. It was actually my dad that came up with it because he travels constantly. Instead of buying loads of plug adapters for your phone chargers, hair straighteners, hair dryer, instead buy an extension lead that has multiple sockets, and that way you'll only need one adapter but you get 4 plug sockets. Hack number 2. This one is about getting around all of those annoying things when it comes to packing. So first of all, separate all of your chargers and cables into their own little section. So it could be a sunglasses case or a little makeup bag. Just keep them separate, that way you know where they are and they're not flying about in amongst all of your stuff. Secondly, if you're going to be packing jewellery, especially necklaces and bracelets that have a thin little chain like this one, to stop them getting all tangled and knotted with each other like they always do after a flight, you need to get some straws, and you might have to trim the straws a little bit, but basically you just feed your necklace or bracelet through the straw and then fasten it together, and that way there's no way that it can get tangled up. And finally, this is one that I just discovered and really helped me out last time I went away. I love taking a straw hat on holiday with me, but I really hate packing it in my suitcase because it always gets squashed by everything else and comes out the other end a bit of a funny shape. So I always carry it around in my hand luggage with me, which is really annoying and inconvenient. So my tip for getting around this is basically to pack all of your small things like knickers and socks and maybe pyjamas, bikinis into the base of the hat and really fill it up so that when you squish it, it doesn't change shape. Then you just lie it flat in your suitcase and pack everything else around it. That way it's going to retain its shape, it's not going to go all squished and weird, and you've also multitasked on some space as well. Hack number 3. This one is all about protecting your precious makeup and cosmetics. So the first one is if you're taking anything that's in like a glass bottle like foundation or perfumes, you really don't want these to crack on the flight. Before you put each one into your makeup bag or your cosmetics bag, wrap it up first in a sock or a flannel or even a t-shirt, and this just pads them out and protects them from smashing on the journey. Next, if you're taking any palettes or compacts and you're worried about them cracking, the best thing to do is pop a little cotton pad into your compact, and this will protect it from smashing. And then finally, to prevent any leakage from your sun cream, your shampoo, your body lotions, body washes, take the lid off of all your liquids, grab some cling film or cellophane, wrap the bottle up, pop the lid back on, and this will prevent any leakage. Hack number 4. This one is all about packing your clothes. It's the worst thing ever when you've washed and ironed your clothes so that they're all lovely for your holiday. You pack them all nicely into your suitcase and then you bring them out the other end and they're all creased and horrible. The best thing to do is, instead of folding your clothes, roll your clothes. If you really tightly and carefully roll your clothes, not only is it really space saving, but it also prevents your clothes from getting too creased. And if they are a little bit creased, which is likely, a lot of hotel rooms do have an iron, but if they don't, a really good tip is to use your hairdryer or straighteners to get out any little unruly creases. Hack number 5. To make the most out of the space in your suitcase, you don't really need to take full-size shampoo bottles, full-size body washes, so it's a really good idea to make the most of miniature travel-size products. You can go to Boots and buy loads of miniature travel-size shampoos, conditioners, deodorants, shower gels, or if they don't have the brand or product that you really like, you can buy little plastic containers and decant your favourite product into the containers and just take a little bit with you. Also for your perfume, you can buy a little atomizer, pump in your favourite perfume, and that way you don't have to take a full-size glass bottle and risk it smashing. Hack number 6. Something that I always found really stressful at the airport was getting to security and having to quickly put all of my liquids into the little plastic bag. I always carry so much in my hand luggage with me and it would really stress me out having to find everything and make sure that it was in the plastic bag. So about a year ago, I actually took a really huge handful of these plastic bags and I put them in the little zip-up compartment of my suitcase. You can buy them from absolutely anywhere, you don't have to pinch them from the airport like I did. Just make sure that they do match the dimensions that are airport security approved. I think it's 20 centimetres by 20 centimetres, and that way you can put all of your liquids into the bag before you go, so there's no stress at the airport. You can just go ahead and put your bag in the little tray and be on your way. Hack number 7. Another thing at the airport that I always found really stressful was having a bag full of stuff and having to fish around for my boarding pass and my passport in a rush, in a panic, in a stress, because there's always a big long queue behind you and you always underestimate how many times sometimes you have to get your passport out. So now I put everything together in its own little pouch, so my boarding pass, my passport, my insurance documents, so that way it's all together, it's really easy to find and there's no panic when you have to pull it out. Hack number 8. So if you're like me and you're just really extra and you always buy beautiful, pretty luggage and you're worried about it getting scuffed and scratched and damaged, you can actually buy clear plastic luggage skins to go over your suitcase and protect it from getting scratched or scuffed, but it's transparent so you can still see the pretty suitcase underneath. They're not super cheap, but it's definitely cheaper than getting your suitcase professionally wrapped at the airport every single time for like £10. And if you've invested in a nice suitcase, then it's definitely worth it to protect it. Alternatively, you can also mark your suitcase as fragile. And this one is a bit cheeky, but if you mark your suitcase as fragile, it will hopefully get handled with a little bit more care. And I've also heard a rumour that they put fragile suitcases at the top, which means yours is going to be the first one to come out at baggage reclaim. So that's like 2 hacks in one. And then after all that, if you do come out with some scuffs and marks on your suitcase, I've found that 9 times out of 10 you can actually get these off with nail varnish remover. You do have to scrub a little bit, but most of the time they will come off. Hack number 9. If you aren't as extra and silly as me and probably a lot more sensible than me, and you just have a normal standard black suitcase, one that pretty much looks like everybody else's, and you never know if it's your suitcase coming around the carousel at baggage reclaim, or worse, somebody picks it up because they think it's theirs, a really good tip is to tie a little coloured ribbon on the handle, or maybe paint your initials on it in nail varnish, and that way even if your case looks like everybody else's, you'll always know it's yours. And finally, hack number 10. It's a really good idea to call your mobile provider before you go away, because most of the time you'll be surprised, you can actually get a really good deal on international calls, texts and data, but most of the time it's not applied automatically and you do have to request it. And if you give them a call before, you can find out your options and you won't get caught out with a really horrible bill at the end of your trip. It's also a really good idea to download some apps before you go, such as Google Translate. This is an amazing app where you can use your camera to take pictures of text in different language, for example a food menu, and it instantly translates it for you. Also, City Mapper is an amazing app. I'm not sure if it only works in cities, but I've used it in New York, in Paris, in Milan, and it's really useful for finding the best and quickest routes from A to B to help you travel around more like a local rather than a tourist. And finally, if you want to find some photogenic and Instagrammable places, go to Instagram and search the geotag of the place that you're going and you'll see all of the photos that anyone who's been there has posted. So that's all of my tips. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video and that some of these hacks will help you out this summer. Please do let me know down below in the comment section if you have any top tips that I need to know, because I'm always on the lookout for more. Please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe to my channel if you're new. And as always, I shall see you next Monday in my video. Bye!